Got a lot to talk about. We got UFC 324. Obviously, we haven't talked about it since it happened. Ilya Taporia is gonna have to step away for a little bit to deal with some family issues. So they make the interim title belt for lightweight. Paddy and versus Justin Gaethje. They overstep Arman. How do you feel about that? Before we get into our picks, like them overstepping Arman, um, and just going with Justin and Paddy here.
Uh, Patty's the bigger star. They want to build Patty into a star. To build him up into a star, you got to feed him names, right? Justin Gaethje's a big name. It's not prime Gaethje, but it's not wash Gaethje yet, right? It's a good matchup for Patty. They know Patty sells. They know Patty's the personality. Armand didn't do himself any favors, especially with the headbutt after the Hooker fight.
Man,
Like
that's overblown, bro.
we,
Fuck out of here, bro.
it is no, it is, but also like
Connor's done way worse before a fight. John Jones has
no,
done way worse before a fight.
but they're John Jones and Connor.
I
Armand is
mean,
Armand.
I'm
Armand
trying.
doesn't sell those
I can think of
numbers.
an example of some low tier fighter deals. Bryce Mitchell said some crazy shit before a fight. Like, come on, man. I don't
Yeah,
think it's
where's
crazy
Bryce
as
Mitchell
shit.
at on the undercards? That's what I'm saying though.
Yeah.
We're talking about a guy competing for a title. You gotta sell. Patty sells, and Patty says out of pocket stuff. Remember, Patty and Ilya got into it in the hotel room a couple years ago because he was saying some stuff about Georgia. So like, I think with Armand, he had the title shot in his hand. I think he fumbled it, and I think for the UFC it makes sense. It's an easier fight for Patty to fight Gaethje than to fight Armand. You build up a star. They want Patty versus Ilya. That's what they want. That's the biggest fight they want right now. It's gonna sell. The guy's gonna talk trash, and then I don't know if you give Armand another fight. Probably Armand BSD is probably gonna be the next fight after
Nah,
that.
I think
But
they
we'll
do
see.
Armand probably versus the winner of Holloway, Oliveira. 'Cause I think both those
Ooh,
guys probably need another win before they get a title shot, and they gotta do the Ilya comeback fight anyway. So I think that's going to be the matchup they go. But I don't know. I thought Patty. We'll get into our picks later. But I thought
yeah,
Patty would win this easy. But more than I'm thinking about it, it's kind of not going to be as easy as I think. But I don't know. We'll
right,
see.
right.
Let's get into this though. Let's go into the early prelims. A lot of big fights. A lot of a lot of stars they're
Mm-hmm.
trying to build. So, and then first fight we got Josh Kokic versus Denzel Freeman. Um, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know who the fuck these guys are. Not gonna lie to you at all. Do not know. It's probably the one fight where I
Uh,
do not know
I,
who the fuck these guys are at all. But Josh Hokett 7-0. Denzel Freeman 7-1. It looks like a heavyweight fight, right?
yeah,
235. Yeah,
did no, yeah,
heavyweight.
heavyweight fight.
You know a
Yeah,
little bit about these fighters. Let's get into it. 'Cause I don't
I have
know
no
shit.
idea, but Denzel Freeman definitely was a firefighter in another life, and his wife is definitely white.
What
Just
the
by
fuck?
looking at him.
Uh, let's see. We could pull up.
Give me, give, give me Denzel Freeman because Josh Hockett's tattoos piss me off.
Yeah. Uh, you're saying Denzel Freeman?
Bro,
I
that
don't know
line,
nothing
bro,
about these guys, bro. Bro,
Devon, what
honestly,
is wrong? What is,
I got Josh Hockett
look
because
at
you
the
already know
lion.
what.
Look at the lion, bro. What's wrong with the lion's eyes,
Oh,
bro? On
his
his
tattoos.
chest?
Oh shit. I mean, I don't know, bro. It don't look that bad. It ain't bad as like Thiago Santos or some shit.
No, you're right. You're right. You're
Yeah, I
right.
don't
My
know.
bad.
I
My
don't know
bad.
anything
My
about these
bad.
fights at all. I'm gonna go with. I don't trust any big black swole guy in the UFC. I'm sorry. This ain't the NFL, baby. I'm gonna go with Josh Hockett. So I'm gonna go a little bit
Yeah,
opposite with
Odie
you.
Osborne, we haven't forgotten. We haven't
And
forgotten. You still an op to the show.
And next fight, we low key got a low key banger. We got Michael Johnson here
Yeah.
versus Alexander Hernandez, lightweight fight. Michael Johnson, we all know, is a vet, a guy who's had fights against Gaethje, Poirier, and then Alexander Hernandez, a guy who was
Mm-hmm.
who was a prospect in UFC, had a little bit of a downfall, but his last couple wins, he's put on a couple great performances. He's up on the stride. I think his last one against Chase Hooper, right? He knocked out Chase Hooper, hurt Chase Hooper. So
Mm-hmm.
um,
Yep.
this is
Yep.
gonna be a banger
Yeah,
fight
knocked
here.
him out.
Great fight for the prelims to get people, amped up for the rest of the card. My pick here, I'm gonna go with Alexander Hernandez here. I think he's on a good stride. I think Michael Johnson is gonna be very dangerous for him, especially because he does have holes when he strikes a little bit. But I think Alexander Hernandez, he's gonna be able to keep it, pretty even on the feet. A little bit of a detriment to him, but then he's got the grappling. I feel like he's got a little bit of advantage there. He can wrestle up Michael Johnson a bit. So, um, I got Alexander Hernandez.
I got Alexander Hernandez, man. I mean, I like Michael Johnson. I want to believe Michael Johnson. Everybody knows the famous story. He's the one guy to knock out Kamaru Usman in training, hardest hitting, 155 or whatever. He just every time you think he's getting momentum going, every time you think he's going to be that upside guy, it falls apart. I don't think it's any different now. I think Alexander Hernandez, especially training now with Trevor Whitman and Gaethje and all those guys, man, like he's just getting better and better. Um, I think Alexander Hernandez. Oh gosh,
Oh shit. I gotta plug my fucking. Sorry, bro. Technical. I didn't have my PC plugged in, bro. Technical error there. Our shit should be running way smoother now. Holy,
this shit was so loud in my
bro.
ears.
Our shit almost
I'm
just
like,
went down, boy. Holy, I'm a. Oh my god, bro. I'm acting like a rookie right now. It's all right. Sorry, we
we're
gonna get our
rusty. Hey, people, we're coming back.
new
We're coming
year, new
back.
me.
It's
New
fine.
year, new me. You know what the IG models say.
Yeah, give me Alexander Hernandez by knockout, man. We got to start off this Paramount Plus there with a bang.
You said by knockout. Okay, I like that pick. Um, going to the
Yeah,
next one.
Michael Jackson's got glass chin.
Okay, going to the next. Ooh, look at this little graphic they got now on the
Banger.
website.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next fight we got
Banger though
Alex
this next fight.
Alex Perez and Charles Johnson. Alex Perez, you know, a guy stable at flyweight, a guy who's been hovering around the top five, but now after a couple losses now, he's fighting a guy like Charles Johnson, a guy who's got a KO win over Joshua Van, who's a champion at flyweight. So Charles Johnson, a very dangerous flyweight to fight. I got Charles Johnson by knockout here. I think Alex Perez. I think some of his confidence is gone, man. He's had a couple tough losses. He already knows that he's not, championship level. Like he's not going to be able to beat any of those top five guys. He's lost to all of them. He's been, destroyed by all those guys. So he's just a guy I think who will be hovering around the top 15. He'll be like a guy who'll bring a new prospect up against to see if they're ready. So good fight, but I think Charles Johnson can get the KO here.
Yeah, I think you hit spot on everywhere. I think Alex Perez definitely lost a lot of confidence. You could tell in his fights, he's not the same fighter anymore. I mean, pandemic, Alex Perez was feeding families on DraftKings, man. Him and Royval. And that's gone, right? I mean, he's lost to Pantoja, lost to Moreno, lost to Royval. Just, yeah, give me Charles Johnson. He's streaking, man. He's looking good. Uh, Stupidly big for that weight class. He's look kind of like Sean Woodson almost. Like, just no sense to how he makes 125 pounds. Um, I like it though. I like Charles Johnson a lot. I think he gets his. He's got to be careful with the striking because Charles Johnson is good at striking from the outside, but he does have a tendency of getting his hands down sometimes, getting cracked. But I'll take Charles Johnson
Okay. Daniel
for sure.
said that I think that's gonna be it for the early prelims. Wait, why do they even do prelims and
Did
stuff
the,
like that now? Said they just
I was,
do a
I was
whole
about to say,
card.
yeah. Did they take the Ricky Tercio Cameron Smotherman fight off?
Uh, yeah, they canceled a
'Cause
couple.
it's popping up on mine.
There's been a couple fights canceled. Maybe they add that. Maybe it's just the UFC
Yeah,
website. You know
probably.
how the UFC website's ass. So um, maybe look that up, look that up and make sure it's still there while I go to the next one. So next fight we got Nikita
Yeah.
Krylov versus Modestas Bukauskas. Bukauskas, I think he's coming off a KO win his last fight, and then Krylov coming off a loss
Yep.
after a long layoff, coming back and then losing. Krylov, a guy who we used to think he would be like a championship contender at light heavyweight, but after that long layoff and coming back and losing, not looking as good as he used to look. I don't know. I think he still might be better than Bukakis though. Bukakis, he's a good, decent, well-rounded fighter, but I think Krylov. I think he still can get this win. I think he's hungry coming off that loss to come back and make a staple here. I think it'll be a great fight. I think it'll be a decision, but I got Krylov by decision.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Bukakis, man. I'm gonna believe in the comeback. He's been a monster in my opinion since he's come back. Nikita Krylov is that kind of guy that can pull off like the really flashy submission here and there. Um, but dude, you lost to Anthony Smith.
That's a bad
Yuck.
loss. That is a bad
Yuck.
loss.
That's bad, bro. I'm sorry. Give me Modestas Bukakis, man. And also Nikita Krylov just has a really bad tattoo arrangement going on. By the way, the Ricky Tercios Cameron Smotherman fight is on the card as well. Both guys out of Houston. Smotherman 12-6. Really a nothing fight. They're gonna bang though. Like those guys just strike like crazy. Then the fight to open the card is going to be Fugit versus Ty Miller. Another nothing fight, but yeah, just some housekeeping notes. That Tercios Smotherman fight though. If you're building a parlay on DraftKings, definitely bet all 3 rounds. That thing is going to be banging and banging. Those guys strike like crazy for sure.
Dang, bro, I just realized I just scrolled down. Look at their website. They got the
Yeah, dude, they messed it up. Yeah, they did the same thing for me. Yeah, they look the same thing for me. It's dumb.
yeah for this first fight. I got Adam Fugit. I'm gonna go Adam Fugit. You know he's trash, but I don't know about Ty
Yeah.
Miller. I think he'll be Ty Miller, and then I'm gonna go with Smotherland to beat Ricky Tercios. Tercios is good though,
Yeah.
but very high activity from
Yeah.
Tercios, but I think Smotherland is gonna be able to catch
No, for sure. For sure.
him.
Yeah, I'll take Tercios just to go against you. Why not?
Okay. Going into the next fight, we got a middleweight fight against, a guy who I think he's going to be, the Francis Ngannou middleweight, future championship contender, fucking demon, Atiba Gutierrez versus
Mm-hmm.
Andre Puliov. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Giving a little bit of a step up here since his last fight, but still not, super high level guy. I think if he comes out here and gets a fucking crazy knockout KO, I think we give him a top 15 fight, in his next fight. Shoot this guy to the fucking moon, dude. I think this guy is one of the guys in 2026 that by 2027, everybody's going to know his name, hopefully, if he does the right things. So, I mean, you see that one knockout he had where the dude had him against the cage and he just manhandled him off of him and then just dropped elbows on him. So, guy's a complete fucking monster, freak athlete. I don't know what they're feeding the motherfuckers in Cameroon, man. We need to go test the motherfuckers. But I got Gutierrez, bro. Vicious knockout.
Yeah, I'm with you. You hit a spot on it. Atiba Gauthier, man's a guy that I think they got to shoot to the moon. I think he's definitely championship contending material, if not future champion, dude. Um, Obviously he needs to be tested in a lot of things, but does he though? Because they try to take him down, they try to strike with him. He's the Grim Reaper, dude. He shows no emotion on his face and just runs through everyone. Um, I think, like you said, it's a good step up. I think Andre Poliev is kind of gonna be a sacrificial lamb here. I mean, yeah, give me a Thibaut Gauthier by knockout. I don't even think he gets out of a round. I'd be shocked if it gets past 3 minutes. Honestly, he's that good, dude. And I think yeah, you gotta build him up, build him up. I was gonna say Atiba Gauthier versus Bo Nickel if Atiba Gauthier wins, but you know what? Fuck me. Fuck me.
Bo
It's fine.
Nickel versus Goatee. Bro, he is not accepting that fight. Relax, dude. Don't do that to Bo. Don't do that to Bo, bro. He's not ready for that, bro. What the fuck?
I'm trying to see Bo get knocked out, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Bro, fucking Rainer the Ritter had that boy running, bro. Hell nah. Gutierrez, you think he's going to fight Gutierrez, bro? He's shooting for that leg, bro. Thing about Gutierrez, bro, this guy's a UAE, young UAE Muay Thai champion, So this guy's got he's got head kick knockouts, He's got all kinds of knockouts. It's not just the Francis, I'm going to punch you. It's not like he's not Francis. He's not gonna hit you with a fucking motorbike or some shit, bro. He's got the head kicks. He's got the knees, the elbows. Like this guy's a fucking demon, man.
Wait, you say he's not gonna hit you with what, bro?
Francis be like, I'm going to punch you.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, bro. Yeah, so I got Gutierrez. I think you had Gutierrez, right? Yeah. 2027 future champion. Might be the only guy that can, pose a physical threat against Hamza in the future. We'll see. Gutierrez versus DDP in the future would be fire or some shit like that. Going to the next fight, we got on the prelims. We got
Why is this
Umar
next fight on
versus
the
Davison
prelim?
Figueiredo on the prelims.
What?
Like, what the fuck? Wait, what is this, bro? Hold on, let me see. What's on the main card? We're going to put Natalia Silva. I love Natalia Silva and Rose, but we're going to put that over Umar and Figueiredo on the card. Come on now. Are we faded? The fuck kind of shit is that, bro? Am I looking at the same thing, bro? Like,
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. Even Arnold Allen and John Silva over Umar and Davidson's a little disrespectful.
it is disrespectful, but we know that Gene
Hey.
Silva got that pull. And honestly, that Gene Silva Arnold Allen fight, I'm looking forward to that more. This fight we got Umar coming off the win versus Batista, and then we got Figueiredo coming off the win versus I think he fought Montel Jackson. And that trash ass fight
Ugh.
night card. Yeah, I think Montel Jackson won that fight too, in my opinion. But um, going into this one, no, I don't. No, I didn't. Never mind. That's some faded ass shit. Never mind.
No,
Uh,
you did. I was
yeah.
about to say. Ooh. You just
Umar,
stood there.
Umar's got showing some holes in some of his fights. He's got the loss versus Marab. You got Batista. Dropped him with the kick.
Yeah.
But besides that, a guy who's been pretty flawless. And he's got the very good striking. That's the difference between him and all these other Dagestanis. Is he likes to strike a lot more, and he's got very good striking, very good kicks, very good taekwondo.
Yeah.
But you got Figueiredo, a guy, future early champion, was a champion down at flyweight, and now up at bantamweight. He's lost against some of the high level guys at bantamweight. Like I said about Figueiredo, he loves being the hammer, but when he's the nail, he's not that good. He's not that good at
Right.
getting beat up a little bit
Right.
and taking that. So I think in this fight, I think this is dangerous for Umar. I think this is a lot more dangerous than a lot of the other fights he could have taken. But I do think Umar is going to be able to get the decision here. I don't think he finishes Davison, but I do think he gets a decision here.
No, you're spot on. I agree with the same
And
thing. I don't think he knocks out
this is going to be a
Davison. I
little
think
bit different because I think at bantamweight, I think Figueiredo's been on the back foot a little bit. I feel like in this fight, he's going to be the aggressor. So
Yeah. Yeah. No, but I still think Umar gets the decision, man. Umar, like, that wrestling is and Davidson's a good wrestler. Davidson's a good grappler and wrestler, but I think Umar in the Bautista fight had some moments where he kind of looked like Islam for a bit. And then he kind of devolved back to relying too heavily on the striking at moments, right? With Davison, he has to rely heavily on the grappling. And I'm not saying he can't outstrike Davison Figueiredo, but keep in mind, first off, Davison carries a lot of power in the striking, which is why guys avoid striking with him even at bantamweight, right? And second, Davison, his best move when it comes to his grappling is those Muay Thai trips, right? Which happen when you open up in the striking too heavily with him. Uh, and we saw it in the Bautista fight where Umar can open himself up a bit too much with the striking. We saw it in the Marab fight as well. I think Umar has to go heavily on the grappling and just impose his will. Davison can get tired. We have seen Davison Figueiredo be gassed, right? When he gets worn down. I think if he wears down Davison, good path to victory, right? Um, I got Umar winning, but like you said, dangerous fight, man. Dangerous fight. I think Davison's going to be very game for this fight. And Davison's a big fight guy. When big fights come up, he shows up one way or the other, so we'll see. This is a big test for Umar. He has to win this fight or else we got a uncomfortable conversation about bantamweight and who's next for, next three guys in line for the title type of deal. So
damn, I think Jose got a secret admirer in the chat. What the hell? We got QD on the right. What? Man, jawline go crazy. Fuck you talking about? Nah, let's get it. How about you shave that beard? Let's see how you look without that beard, Jose.
suck my dick.
What the
Let's
hell?
keep
This nigga
going,
got more
bro.
fans than me out here. Fuck out of here. Going to the next fight. We got the main card. This is the fight. I think this is my second. I think I'm looking forward to this fight second most. After that Nunes pullout,
Yeah.
or not the Nunes pullout, the Harrison pullout.
Pause. Pause, bro.
Anyways, we got Arnold Allen versus Gene Silva. Arnold Allen off a little bit of a layoff, in the last couple fights, or in the last year, and then Gene Silva coming off that loss versus Diego Lopez. Somehow got Diego Lopez a title shot, but that's another conversation. I don't know, man. I think this is a good fight for Arnold Allen. I feel like Gene Silva kind of plays into his style, and I think Arnold Allen's been in there with a guy like Max Holloway and it had a competitive rounds. I think I got Arnold Allen in this fight. I don't think he knocks him out. I think it's a decision, but I think this is fight of the night, honestly.
I'm gonna push back on that a little bit because Arnold Allen's been gone for just about 2 years now, and nobody knows why. Again, we'll find out this week
He had a
as they
shoulder
do
injury.
fighter interviews.
He had
And
a shoulder. He had a shoulder injury.
Okay, but that's the question. Okay, so he has a shoulder injury. How bad though that he had to be out for 2 years, and what Arnold Allen are we going to get back? I'm not saying he can't get back to that level. In fact, I do. I'm an Allen believer. You know this. We both are, right? Um, we gotta see, man. We gotta see,
Well, I think he
and
wanted
also
to move
Gene
up
Silva.
to lightweight as well.
Yeah, and Gene Silva had some moments in the Diego Lopez fight, but you could definitely tell Gene Silva still has a lot of work to do if he's gonna be a top contender at featherweight, right? Um, I think Arnold, like you said, Gene Silva's style plays into Arnold Allen. I'm just scared that Arnold Allen is going to have a bit of ring rust because Gene Silva is one of those guys that he pushes the pedal to the metal and will take your head off, right? I'm going to take Arnold Allen, though. I think Arnold Allen, I mean, dude, he survived Max Holloway. I mean, and gave Max one of the most competitive fights in Max's career, right? Um, in terms of guys that Max has beaten. So yeah, I'll take Arnold Allen, but
And
this is one
we
of those
got to
fights like you
forget
said. I
too.
think it's
He
got
basically beat Mozart too. We can't forget that either.
yeah, yeah. This is one of those fights where it definitely has fight of the night potential. I think it could be. Um, I'm not gonna give it outright because I still think Derek Lewis is gonna take his pants off at some point. Um, but but no, I'm very interested in this fight, and this fight has a lot of ramifications at featherweight. Because if one of these guys gets a crazy knockout, they got to fight with LaRon Murphy lined up or Movzar, right? So, a lot of conversations to be had if this fight things right at featherweight. So we'll see.
Yeah, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I think Gene Silva is like the featherweight Figueiredo. Like I feel like he's gonna be good at being the hammer his whole career, but he's not gonna be good at being the nail. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, going to the next one, we got Natalia Silva versus Rose Thug Rose. Rose Namajunas. Pretty much whoever wins this fight is probably gonna get the title shot against Valentina. And I think Natalia Silva is the next generation. You know, I think she's a champion. I think she's good enough to beat Rose here, and I think she goes on to beat Valentina and becomes champion because her level of Taekwondo, I think, is something that's gonna be. I think that's gonna be the next evolution of MMA. Is a lot of people getting way better at kicking and keeping the range and stuff like that because it prevents you from just the car collisions and all that and getting knocked out and stuff like that. And it's just a very good level of striking. So I got Silva. I think she beats her by decision. I don't think Rose has been the same since she's moved up. I think old Rose would have gave it a way tougher fight. She's got the knockout threat, but I feel like this Rose is a lot more point fighty. So I think point fighting Silva is not a good look. So I got Silva.
Never forget that Pat Barry groomed Rose when she was 14 years old, and he's gonna be in her corner
Right?
as they're married.
She don't be having him showing nowhere. He used to be like doing interviews and all that. Like they keep that shit on the low now.
Well, I mean, listen. First, it started with R. Kelly, then Diddy, then a little bit of smoke on Jay-Z. I think Pat Barry knows he's next. And you, and you're absolutely right though about Natalia Silva, definitely future champion. I think, in my opinion, so she in the perfect time, right, where Valentina is getting up in age, right? She's getting up in age, and I'm not saying Valentina's done yet, but you still want to cultivate those new stars, right? The Monaferos, Natalia Silva. Uh, I think Rose, like you said, I mean, let's be honest, she hasn't been the same since that Carla fight, dude. That Carla fight was like, even the Monaferro fight, she had couple moments here and there, but you could tell she is way too small for moving up like she did.
Yeah, the
I don't
knockout
know
threat's
why
not
she
there no
moved up.
more.
No, the knockout threat's not there no more. She gets dominated in grappling exchanges because she's so much smaller than everyone, where she can defend, but then it gasses her out. I got Natalia Silva. I don't think she knocks her out because it's Thug Rose. I mean, dude, the day Thug Rose gets knocked out, like again, not the head drop, like a real knockout. I think it's the day she's got retired. But yeah, I got Natalia Silva. I get why they put it on the main card, but like,
Yeah, I mean Rose was preparing
eh.
for Grasso and fucking Silva starched Grasso 5-0, like 5-0 zilch, like
Yeah, we
destroyed her.
need we
Like
need to have a conversation now that you bring up Alexa Grasso because that's another one where like, was Alexa Grasso really, other than the Shevchenko fight, was she really that good?
nah, Not really, but
And that's why like Natalia Silva's coming up, and it's like, listen, they're kicking out the old now. That's the way the UFC's doing it. They're trying to get the new blood in. They're gonna shoot Natalia Silva to the moon, right? I'm not saying Shevchenko can't beat her, but
yeah,
still,
I just
and I think Doug Rose.
her only hole is
This
getting
reminds me
taken
of
down.
this reminds me of like Patty Gaethje, right? You want to feed these new stars names. Doug Rose is a name. I think Natalia Silva, even though it's a short notice thing, I think Natalia Silva runs. I don't think she knocks her out, but she's gonna run through Rose, in my opinion. But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe Rose knocks her out and starts crying, and everybody cheers and has a happy moment as Pat Barry picks her up on his shoulders.
Yeah.
Shout out you, Pat. You're an absolute creep. I was so happy that they checked Congo knocked you out, you pedophile. Anyway,
What the fuck? This thing just crashed out. Okay, Jose randomly crashing out out here. Anyways, going to the next one. We got
Pat Barry with Odie Osborne in terms of ops of the show. We're adding you to the list, brother. Anyway, continue. I'm sorry.
next one. We got Waldo Cortez Acosta, the pirate. You know, saying the one that's making Tom Aspinall look terrible out here.
Me no black, me Dominican. Me no black. No, me Dominican.
Versus staple knockout artist in the UFC, Derek Lewis, the guy with the most knockouts in UFC.
The hottest balls in the UFC, Paul.
I hate to say this, I'm running the Acosta train. I like Acosta. I feel like I need Acosta to be one of these top tier heavyweights and compete because he's the only one that's athletic out here. He's the only one of these heavyweights that fucking moves around and actually looks fucking like an athlete. So I'm gonna go with Acosta. But this is a typical Derek Lewis, fucking gatekeep a guy, and catch him slipping type of fight. People are gassing him up because he's been looking like he's in shape lately. But I don't know. I feel like Acosta's that guy, man. He knocked out Delija, after getting eye poked. So, and I think Delija or Leo, whatever how you pronounce his name, I think he was going to be a top contender too. I think he still will be. He just got, went against another guy who's going to be a top guy. So I'm riding the Acosta train here. I think, he can get that 6 fights in 12 months, so. That's crazy too for a heavyweight be that active. So I got Acosta. KO.
Listen, my man has 9 kids, wears tight jeans, and smokes hookah. Give me Waldo Cortez Acosta. Mi domi, que Dios te bendiga, papá. Ya tú sabes, loco. Give me Waldo Cortez Acosta. And that's nothing against Derek Lewis. I like Derek Lewis. And I want to see Derek Lewis have a moment where he says, I'm going to go down to my wife tonight. I want to see all that. I love it. But Waldo Cortez Acosta is the truth. When I knew this? The Sergey Pavlovich fight. Where Sergey fought a great fight and Cortez Acosta was game until the very end. And he's only getting better and better. And you see it. And he knows he has to. My man has 9 kids. 9 kids ain't cheap, especially when you sending money back to DR. So, bless up. My boy's about to run through Derek Lewis. And I love it. He's buying into the eye patch thing. He's becoming a star. He's bringing in the Latin crowd as well. So, yeah, give me Waldo Cortez Acosta, man. I believe in him. And I think Derek Lewis is the perfect gatekeep fight for him. Because everybody knows he could end up looking like Curtis Blades. Right? And that is there. But if he overcomes this, dude, look at the guys that have beaten Derek Lewis and what happens after they beat him, right?
Besides
That's
Sergey.
why this is so important. Sergey's got fraud checked by a couple people
Besides
already.
Sergey and Tai Tuivasa.
Yeah. Which, by the way, Tai Tuivasa has abs now. Ladies and gentlemen, Tai Tuivasa in the year of our Lord 2026 has abs.
I don't believe it.
Bro, I guess he lost a bunch of weight and got in shape and has abs now or whatever.
Ozempic?
And I love it. Probably on the Ozempic, and I love it because he did all that just to get knocked out by Parker Porter or something in a couple months. But anyway,
hell no, not Parker Porter. Hell no,
bro, sloppy big boy heavyweight fighting, man. That's what we signed up for. No, but I think Waldo Cortez Acosta said, "Listen, heavyweight is the thinnest, most trash division in all mixed martial arts. Not just UFC. Even the PFL has 0 at heavyweight." Because not even Francis. They don't got Francis. He's out of contract, right? So I think Waldo's the perfect guy they're going to build up. They need to build up a star. Tom Aspinall, we don't know if he's going to fight ever again. That's just a real thing. Dude, Waldo wins. Give me Cyril Gane, Waldo Cortez Costa, interim heavyweight title. Sergey, I don't care. I don't care. Go fight Volkov. Go put the fight in Ukraine for all I care. I don't care. Waldo Cortez Acosta, shoot him to the moon. You're shooting for that Latin American market. Boom, that's your guy. And he's a heavyweight star who wins, who has fun with the fans, all this whatever. Perfect time,
Hell
especially
no.
with Tom being injured.
He's not getting no title shot off of being Derek Lewis, bro. I'm
No,
sorry.
I'm backing my boy. Ya tú sabes, mi tiguerazo. Ya tú
No,
sabes,
no,
loco. Yo
no
estoy
C, no
contigo,
C,
yo.
no C. No. He's
Hey,
not
papi,
gonna
me no black. Me no black. Me Dominican. Me no black.
bro, he's not getting a title shot for being Derek Lewis. They need to do the Alex if Tom Aspinall never fights, they need to do Alex Pereira versus Cyril Gane, for interim.
Oh, gosh. You really want Cyril Gane to die.
I don't know, that'd be a tough one for Cyril Gane's a big guy, man. But anyways,
Yeah, he also has like a sun tattoo on his chest, bro.
it's the power of the gods.
He needs a dentist. That's what he needs, bro. Anyway.
Going to the next one, we got Sean O'Malley making his return off of his, two title shot losses against Marab versus Song Yadong, a guy who's coming off that win versus Henry Cejudo, but I wouldn't really count that win. We all know how that went. It was just eye poking, and honestly, Cejudo looked good until that point. But anyways, that's another point. Good matchup here. I think this is kind of a layup for O'Malley in terms of styles. Obviously, I think Song could bring in some of the wrestling. I mean, he's training under Uriah Faber. I think for Uriah Faber, one of the guys knows how to get guys to mix it up. A guy who's been training, Whaley, stuff like that. So Whaley, when she's had a really good striker, she's won fights, by dominating on the ground and stuff like that. So I do think the wrestling, there's a mismatch here, but I don't know. I think O'Malley will be able to. I don't think Yadong's wrestling is that good to where he's going to be able to hold him down for 2 rounds. I think he'll get a round
Right.
winning the grappling, but I think O'Malley will be able to get 2 of those rounds standing, moving, being on the outside and stuff like that. So I think I got O'Malley here.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what version of Sean O'Malley we get. Song Yadong, talented, but very frustratingly inconsistent. He'll look good, then he'll pull a Cheeto Vera and start slow, and then disappear in fights. It's frustrating because Song has been hyped up. I mean, gosh, it's been 5, 6 years now. Zeke popped up during COVID, and we're just like, oh my gosh, this guy
And
looks like he could
longer.
go to the moon, and then yeah, a little longer, yeah. But dude, I just first off, Song Yadong has to win this fight, and so does Sean. You're in a spot where both guys have to win this fight because they don't. One of them is going to be rematching Cheeto Vera. That's not a spot you want to be at in 2026. I think Sean. I think he's gonna come back motivated. I'm liking what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing from Sean O'Malley. You're getting a lot more of a humble, more genuine Sean O'Malley, who has admitted he put on an act. He let the UFC kind of make him a puppet of a star that they wanted to build, rather than grabbing who he was and cultivating that. And he's talented, dude. Sean is so talented. I think what happened is the pressure got to Sean, and that's not. I'm not discrediting Marab. Marab did what he had to do. Marab beat him because Marab is Marab. But I think also Sean also beat himself in a lot of ways, man. The pressure got to him. You could tell in that last Marab fight, his head was not there at all in that fight. And so I think a Song Yadong fight is good. Song's going to keep it competitive. I don't think he knocks out Song because Song is tough as nails. But if he does, oh gosh, right? So I think I got Sean O'Malley. I got Sean O'Malley winning this, and I think, hey, Corey Sandhagen coming off the loss to Marab, Corey versus Sean O'Malley. I've been begging for that fight for forever. So, but we'll see. I
Let's
think I
be
think Sean comes back motivated.
let's be honest. If he wins this, they're gonna try to give him the rematch versus Peter Yan. Let's be honest. I think he should fight Corey at the White House, but you already know what they're gonna do.
Did they skip Umar?
Yeah, they definitely skip Umar for O'Malley. Yeah, they definitely do because Umar's still he's gonna have to do
Bro,
Ramadan. He's gonna have to Ramadan it up anyway. The fuck.
bro, Dana's gonna have 40 Dagestanis at his office.
For real.
Shaking my head.
The only thing I will say about O'Malley, I feel like the approach from Marab was a little terrible, like fighting going backwards in that distance. I feel like to stop a guy from wrestling you up, you should be going forward and making him go backwards. So I feel like
Right.
if someone
Right.
comes out super heavy with the wrestling, you switch it up and you start going forward a little bit more. But just my take, just my take. I might not know what the fuck I'm talking about. We'll see. Going to the next fight, we got the interim lightweight title bout: Paddy Pimblett versus Justin Gaethje. Um, the winner is gonna wait for Ilya to come back and fight them. Gaethje, legend, most bonuses probably in UFC history. He's probably the most exciting fighter, or one of the most exciting fighters in UFC history. Obviously, he's been less exciting as of late, but the track record stands for itself. And then Paddy Pimblett, young star, um, the UFC here is trying to make the biggest fight possible. They're trying to make Paddy versus Ilya, which I think is the biggest fight they got on the roster right now. That's actually viable and makes sense. But Gaethje's trying to put a thorn in that, so we'll see. Initially I had Paddy winning easily. I feel like this is very similar to Chandler matchup, but now that I'm thinking about it a lot more, I think Gaethje, he could hurt his leg a lot more. And if he fights like how he fought Tony Ferguson,
Hmm.
wrestling him up and then doing some ground and pounding, I feel like Paddy would be a little too comfortable, letting him get in his guard and trying to jiu-jitsu it up, and then he is gonna end up getting ground and
Yeah.
pounded up a little bit, but. I don't know. I think Patty's still too big, man. He's big. He's gonna be at distance. He's gonna have a Taekwondo heavy style. Them kicks. He's gonna be blasting head kicks to Gaethje. He's probably gonna be eating Gaethje's leg up a little bit. And I think I got Patty still winning, man. He's a big lightweight, and he's got a lot of skills, and I feel like he still could get the submission as well. So I got Patty.
Well, first off, shout out to Ilya Taporia showing that fathers do matter, and shout out to the judge for showing that fathers can still win in court, even in Spain. So, prayers up to our boy Ilya, because that's dirty. That's dirty. And again, allegedly, alleged, whatever. Still, I hope Ilya comes back, gets that all figured out, gets to spend time with his kids, all that, because that's nasty work. What's happening to him? Back to this fight though. Justin Gaethje, basically, if Justin Gaethje loses, he's basically all but said, and so is Trevor Whitman, that Gaethje's basically done. He said if he gets knocked out, he's definitely done. Um, and I think it makes sense. I mean, dude, he's 37 now. He's at that point in the road, but he still has some pop in there. He still fights relatively smart. I mean, even the Max Holloway fight, the reason he struggled so much in that fight is because that spinning back kick from Max broke his nose at the end of round one. But other than that, Justin fights pretty smart. All right, it's not an easy fight for Patty. In fact, I think it's a good challenge, especially coming up from fighting Michael Chandler of all people. No respect, Iron Mike, but like you're literally just like a ball of muscle with like no fight IQ at this point. Whereas like Gaethje is a bit more of a challenge to Patty, especially in the areas where I have a lot of questions about Patty that I haven't seen Patty be challenged in, nay the Jared Gordon fight, which a lot of us think that he lost that fight, right? I want to say a lot of us say everybody with a brain would think that he lost a Jared Gordon fight. The leg kicks, I think Gaethje does a great job negating people's leg kicks, but also chewing up people's legs, right? And also he eats them. Dude, look at the Fiziev fight, right? Like Gaethje is good at that. Gaethje also is good at just going forward. I haven't seen the power yet from Patty in the UFC to be able to say this guy can knock out Gaethje. I'm not saying he can't, but this is where I give Patty credit: the speed, the IQ that Patty has in managing distance, the IQ he has in his grappling, and we know that Gaethje has insane takedown defense. If Paddy Pimblett wants to make a statement, he's got to take down Justin Gaethje. Because if he does that, oh man, that's a whole different conversation we have, right? Now, if Justin wins, I'm not really looking forward to that Ilya fight because it's gonna be like a dog getting put down. We all know Ilya's gonna knock him out. It's unfortunate. I think if Patty wins, though,
Based.
different conversation. It's a different conversation. You got the beef that they had in the hotel, right, a couple years ago. You got a guy who is bigger than Ilya. Not saying Charles wasn't, but also he can eat a punch at 155. Now we have a question: can Ilya knock out a guy that isn't Do Bronx, who's been in like 50 something something fights and it's like 35 at 155. And there's a lot of variables. Let's say Paddy then wins, beats Ilya. Then you got so many questions. This is a great fight. And I think it's a good way to start the Paramount era. It gets the new fans involved. You got a bunch of new stars on this card. You got Paddy. You got Natalia Silva. You got Tiba Gautier. There's a lot of people on this card. I think Umar, where the UFC, not Dana, because Dana on the press tours has been so checked out. Dana White does not run the UFC anymore. The man literally reads off a card when he's announcing fights. So shout out Mick Maynard, Sean Shelby, and Hunter Campbell. They're the ones that run the UFC now, and Ari Emanuel. Okay, those are the ones that run the UFC. Because, dude, the way they set this up, absolutely perfect. I think also, is there going to be some difficulties maybe with the technical stuff? Listen, it's the first card. I'm going to give him some grace. It takes a minute. But, man, we don't got to pay for pay-per-views now, Devon. We're getting some stars built up. We're getting stars built up in markets that, geez, they're not just Brazilians and Russians anymore. Like, we're getting some stars like UK stars, Cameroon. Like, you know, I love it. This is good. I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see what happens. And, yeah, let's get this going, man. About damn time. ESPN, please never come back to MMA. You left MMA alone for almost 30 years and then did absolutely nothing in the 6 years that you had it. Good riddance, bro.
Honestly, I'm actually kind of glad that we won't have to see Stephen A. Smith talk about the UFC.
Bro.
That shit used to be fucking horrid, bro. Oh my god.
Conor
McGregor.
Wait,
Conor McGregor. What?
Ariel Helwani just got he just got sunned by Max Holloway. So he had Jorge Masvidal and said, Jorge, how do you feel about Max Holloway calling the BMF title a joke of a title? And Jorge was like, he gave a real political answer, no shit talking. Max Holloway just tweeted out to Ariel saying, you're the one that called it a joke. Stop starting shit. You're 43 years old, Ariel.
Honestly, I'm almost 30 years old. I'm about to start being on my Ariel shit. I'm about to be on my Oive shit. Start starting some shit. I don't know.
You need a bigger nose for that. Anyway,
I think that's gonna do it for our picks and predictions for UFC 324.